In this video module, we're going to look at a typical purchase proposal. In this case, it is a sample proposal based upon one of Energy Miser's customers. So obviously these proposals are meant to be easy to understand and to read, mainly for the customer or prospect so that they can make an informed decision and move forward with the Energy Miser. So the proposal starts with the cover page, detailing the name of the business or organization, their address, the current date, as well in most cases, a photo or corporate image of the company. We like to tailor-make these proposals so that your prospects will feel that the proper attention and time has been taken to really think about and dissect and then present a true analysis of how we will help them save money, prolong the equipment life, and overall lead them to make an informed business decision. So the first page of the proposal starts with a general product overview, which gives a nutshell sort of reminder to your customers of what the Energy Miser is, how it works, and how it will benefit them. All of these points here can be elaborated on in the video training module. Of what is the Energy Miser and product overview. So we get into a simple description of the product, a visual representation of how the product works, and the 5 key components of the Energy Miser. Then we get into some product characteristics. Now, normally I would say 95% of the time, customers are not electricians, nor do they care for all of the technical detail. However, we provide some basic product characteristics, so at least if they do have an engineer on hand, or if they have a good understanding of electricity, they get a good idea, a rough idea of some of the components and some of the ratings regarding voltage and amperage and similar things like that, so that they just have an overall idea of the product characteristics. Of course, we don't divulge any proprietary technology, but this gives them a good overview of the product as well as a visual representation. So now we get into the most exciting, or the nuts and bolts of the presentation. This is where we take the bills that were provided to us by the customer, dissect them, and then prepare a pro forma based on the bills and how much we're going to save the customer, as well as what the return of the investment will be time-wise if they were to purchase, or what their straight of monthly positive cash flow will be if they were to lease or rent the Energy Miser system. So as you know, what we do is collect 6 months bills. These are typically 3-month summer bills and 3 months winter bills. And the reason we do that is so that we get an accurate estimate of the average of the 12 months bills of the customer. And normally the only variations that will occur will be due to outside weather. That's why we take one extreme case of lower weather and an extreme case of higher weather, and we get a real accurate average bill amount in dollars charged, as well as monthly kilowatt hours usage. So if we look at 1 month, if we take 1 month, May 2011, we see that their total kilowatt hours usage was 42,818 kilowatt hours. That is over a billing period of 30 service days, which comes to 1,427 kilowatt hours used per day. Now, this particular customer has 4 meters and 4 accounts, so we break down the charges for each particular account, in this case, so that we see how the charge relates to the account, and then in the far right, we take a sum of all of these accounts to get a total net charges for May 2011. These net charges exclude aspects to the bill that don't apply to their usage. So things like gas charges or water charges obviously are taken out of the equation. Things like late charges, which are there and imposed by the utility company, but is not a reflection of the usage. Things like that have nothing to do with kilowatt hours or usage, are excluded, so we get a real net charge of what their electricity is costing them. So we do that for the 3 summer months and see that we get an average of $5,736 for the summer. We get a lower average of $3,380 for the winter, which yields an average monthly charge for the year of $4,558.58. Doing the same analysis for the kilowatt hours, we get 51,387 kilowatt hour usage per month for this business. Now, typically or historically, the Energy Miser saves 12%. So we use that as a pro forma figure to calculate what their projected savings would be. 12% of $4,558 would yield a savings monthly of $547.03. Now we do the same for the kilowatt-hour usage, but with an 8% figure, which is what our guarantee is based on. We see that we will save them a minimum of 4,111 kilowatt-hours per month. Okay, then the last line is what their eyes are going to gravitate to. This is where we go over the purchase, rent, and lease prices and what that means in ROI. So if they were to purchase the turnkey system, which includes all of the equipment, shipping, and of course installation by one of our certified and licensed installers, it would cost them $8,650. That would yield a payback period, or ROI in months, of 15.8 months. Meaning after 15.8 months, they would recoup that $8,550 investment and continue saving indefinitely. So that's if they were to purchase. Now, an alternative to that is a lease option. And we work with several leasing companies that offer third-party financing for our customers. A typical 36-month lease for this customer would cost them $321.52 per month. We subtract that from the monthly savings. They will be cash flow positive from day one of $225.51. Now, if we do a similar analysis for the rental, which is always less than what the lease would be, the rental is a 3-year fixed rental price, which in this case is $198.50. Again, if we subtract that from the savings, that would yield this customer instant first-month positive cash flows of a minimum of $348.53. So this gives customers a good understanding of their options, of what they can expect to save, and really give them confidence that we properly analyze their bill and price our service and product accordingly so that they can achieve a rapid return on investment. If we look at the graph on the bottom left, what we have there is a 10-year graphical analysis of very simply what their bills would run at without the benefit of the Energy Miser and what they would run with the benefit of the Energy Miser. The red line being before, blue being after, and the green line on the bottom with the dollar amounts showing what they would be saving each and every year. On the bottom right, what we have is a savings ROI summary, which is based on the purchase option and what we've taken in a 6-year summary and 10-year. And the reason we're doing that is our purchase warranty period is good for 6 years. So we want to look at the worst case scenario if we were only helping them for 6 years, how we would do. And then we want to look at a more typical scenario of 10 years. Even though the useful life of our product is 25 years, most people don't look beyond 10 years. We look at 10 years as a real example that whatever beyond that is a great bonus. Let's stick with 10-year time frames. Everything is pretty self-explanatory. We see that way of lines of total electricity charges, and within that we take into account 2% annual increases, and this could be based on rate increases or business usage increases. And as we know, businesses are in the business of growing and increasing their productivity, which would obviously require more electricity. We then take the minimum savings that we would generate them, as well as the savings from the tax write-offs. Because the Energy Miser is a capital improvement, it is 100% deductible in the first year. Then, give them the total cash savings for the period. We could calculate the ROI in months and then provide them with a percentage total return on their investment. So we see on a 6-year that they would recoup their capital within 15.8 months and yield an ROI of 349%. In a 10-year analysis, it's the same recoupment of capital, but a 584% return on investment. Now, we just mentioned some additional benefits in there, such as increased equipment life, some voltage surge protection, some overall electrical efficiency to their system, and an immediate return on their investment. So this is pretty much it. This is where everything is down on the table, and you can really walk through and explain to the customer how and why this will be a very smart business decision for them. The next page really focuses more again on the three options we have, which is purchase, lease, or rent, which leads them to making a decision with one of the three. We again summarize the benefits of the purchase program, we summarize the benefits of the lease program, and lastly, we summarize the benefits of the rent program. On the bottom, we have a comparison chart that really compares what the financial commitment would be required for each program, the investment return summary, and the program highlights. So this is a very good snapshot that enables the potential customer to assess which option would make the most sense for them. If this is a cash-rich company, they're probably going to be more inclined to purchase so that they can write off the purchase, and it's really the cheapest way to go. There's no interest or long-term committed cash outlay and only a 15.8-month recoup of capital. If this is a company that's strapped for cash and is really looking to manage their monthly cash flows, they'll probably be more inclined to go towards a rent option. Because of their cash flow positive from day one, our money-back guarantee protects them. Then they really have no risk, so it's really up to the business owner. Lastly, we have a closing summary page which talks about our installation timeline, which is anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks, as well as a sort of formal closing statement. We also talk about our biannual savings summary, which we do every 6 months for our customers so that they can assess how we've done for them, and of course your contact details. What follows from here? Natural progression would be the contracts. To make it easier and to avoid awkward moments of having to reach into a suitcase and pulling out the contract, it's all right there in the proposal and naturally leads to it. And additionally, the fact that we're so transparent about our agreements, this is a great sales tool that you could use because everything is out on the table. These are simple, clean, easy to understand, easily worded agreements. There's no complicated legal language here. This will give your customers a lot of confidence and clarity about what they're getting into. These are fairly self-explanatory, so there's no need to focus on every point here. These are all available to be downloaded as well, but we have the purchase agreement, which is a 2-page agreement, front and back, which details our guarantee and warranty. We have our lease application for those lease customers that want to proceed with the lease. And then we have our rent agreement, which is again a 2-pager. The first page summarizes all of the terms of the agreement, and then the back page, including the warranty, and then the back page, which is the authorization for debit payments. And what they're authorizing us to do is to debit their accounts fixed for every month for 36 months for the agreed-upon rental amount. So that's pretty much it. It's clean and easy to understand. This sample proposal will be available for you to download. You can go through it, get comfortable and familiar with it, and be able to do a great job and to walk all your prospects through it.